ladies and gentlemen. This episode of the Indie News is going to have a little international flair going on.
I see what you did there.
Because a couple days ago, we watched Wrestle Kingdom 10. And we're going to talk about it because, you know what? Other than our weekly Ring of Honor, we don't have any results.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you the results of Wrestle Kingdom 10.
So on the pre-show, we did have the geriatric with a few random other guys thrown in Battle Royal.
Yeah, the New Japan Rumble.
We had... I don't think we need to go over all, like, the order of eliminations, but the order of entrances, I couldn't even figure out what...
The entry order?
That's the one.
Or the order of entrance?
Yes.
Or the...
we had Jushin Thunder Liger, we had Fujiwara, we had Tiger Mask, we had Cheeseburger, Hiro Saito, Yoshihashi, Mascara Dorada, Captain New Japan, Manabu Nakanishi, Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, Hiroshi Tenzan, Ryusuke Taguchi, I'm butchering a lot of these, I'm sure, Shiro Koshinaka, Haku, Great Kabuki.
King Haku, damn it.
They just said Haku. They didn't say King Haku. Great Kabuki.
King Haku.
Kazushi Sakuraba. And the final entrant, which ended up being the winner, was Jado.
Yeah. This was the closest thing I've ever seen to the WrestleMania 17 gimmick battle royal.
The best part was watching Cheeseburger try and hit people and having it have no effect, and them just beating the shit out of Cheeseburger. I just listened to him on Talk Is Jericho, and one of his goals was to wrestle in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he got to do this is awesome for him, but he didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, no, my favorite part is when they had, I don't even remember, you have the list of names over there? I'm going to try and pull the name out.
Go.
To see if I can remember.
Try and go for it. Yeah, it was just like, it was a lot of old guys. There was like, Fujiwara was like moving way faster than I thought he was. There was one guy with a messed up knee, and he was moving way better than I thought. It was crazy. Was it Fujiwara?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was somebody else. No, like these guys were moving way faster than I expected these 60 plus, possibly 70-year-old dudes all in the wrestling ring.
No, I think it was Taguchi, but I can't be certain. I think he was the one that had the long green tights.
Yes. Oh, that ass attack!
Well, no, they like, everyone who was in the ring at the time had like a circle around him.
Yeah.
And each person was punching him. There was like 8 or 9 guys in the circle, and they were all punching him. And then it got around to where Cheeseburger's turn to punch him, and Cheeseburger hit him. And like as a response, he didn't even like sell. He just kicked Cheeseburger.
Yeah, he just looked at him like, "The fuck did you just do?" And then he knocked down Cheeseburger. No, it was fun. Jado got the easy entrance. He was in there for like 45 seconds, and then he won.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he took like a good 2 or 3 minutes for his entrance.
Yeah, all of them did.
They stopped and like he had like, because he was like the only one to come out of like the actual real entranceway from the arena.
Oh, I didn't realize
that. He came out and then his valet did a whole like flip cartwheel.
That's
routine.
right. Yeah. He was. I think he was the only one that actually came out with a valet in this Rumble thing.
Like there were 3 eliminations like during his entrance, and when he came down to the ring, there were only 2 guys left in the ring.
Which he eliminated both of them. It was Taguchi and Koshinaka.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It was fun for a second, and then there was some weird shit that we like skimmed through. It was weird. But moving on to the actual card, we open up with Ring of Honor looking strong in this 4 corners tag team match. We had the Young Bucks, we had Red Dragon, we had Roppongi Vice, and Team Air, which was Matt Sydal and Ricochet. This was a fucking acrobatic, fly through the air, how many flips can you do kind of match. And it was fantastic. And it was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles, which were held by Red Dragon at the time.
Super fun match.
Oh, yeah.
And the Young Bucks started the match early by attacking people.
Yeah, they had Cody Hall came out with them, and he actually ended up attacking people. Took out Red Dragon. The Red Dragon were the champions, so they took out Red Dragon right at the beginning.
I think at one point everyone was on the outside, and it might have been Ricochet or Matt Sydal that got Razor's Edged out of the ring onto everyone else.
I think it was Sydal, yeah. Ricochet and Sydal have amazing chemistry. They were doing a back and forth, like from corner to corner attacks on Red Dragon, I believe, and then like Ricochet went for a drop kick, but instead he saw it was on the Young Bucks, because then he saw Cody Hall coming towards the ring, and instead of going for the drop kick on, I believe, Nick, he ended up like doing his ridiculously high up in the air springboard dive to the outside. Just some fantastic moves, and just
Trent was there.
Yeah, Trent was there.
Trent did a really good job of being there.
Young Bucks end up picking up the win. They ended up hitting more bang for your buck on Rocky Romero. Rocky was on a roll for a second, and then it all
double clotheslines for everyone.
Oh yeah, it's he calls it the forever clothesline, and yeah, he was going, and then he got hit with more bang for your buck. And the Young Bucks are the new, and this is their 4th time being IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Then we had a 6-man tag team match. This was the Bullet Club, represented by Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, and Takahashi, taking on Yano and his tag team partners, the Briscoes.
Yeah, Yano likes to do different matches at every Wrestle Kingdom that involve him having mystery partners.
Yes.
So that's kind of a fun gimmick.
Yeah, he gets to bring in new guys every year. That's cool.
And then we had the Bullet Club jumpstart the match again, which would become a theme, is that every match somebody in the Bullet Club was in, with the exception of AJ Styles versus Nakamura, the Bullet Club would attack their opponents before the bell would ring.
Yeah, and this is a big match too, because this is the inaugural match for the never open 6-man tag team championships.
Yeah.
So a trios championship, if you will.
Which is, it's open weight, so it's not like the junior heavyweight or the heavyweight tag team champions, which can only be one in certain weight classes.
Yeah,
it's open to everyone.
Anybody, because I mean, Takahashi is significantly smaller than both the Briscoe brothers in this match, and he's one of the newest members of the Bullet Club. He's the New Japan jumper over to the Bullet Club. Yeah, it was cool to, the Briscoes fit really well in that Japanese style. They're really rough and tough in the ring.
Yes.
So they got to not only show what they're made of, but they got to really step into a comfort zone that they know they can do in ROH, and they know that the Japanese guys, and even Bad Luck Fale and Tama Tonga are both rough guys also. It was a very physical match, and Yano and the Briscoes become the first ever never open 6-man tag team champions after Yano actually uses a chair to hit the top rope, releasing the hands of Tama Tonga, who gets hit with the Doomsday device by the Briscoes. And the Briscoes, for the first time in Japan, pick up the win, and they are New Japan champions. So a big feather in the cap for the Briscoes. Then we had, speaking of ROH, we had the ROH title on the line. Jay Lethal defending against Michael Elgin. This was nothing short of anything that these guys have ever done in Ring of Honor. Yeah. I mean, Truth Martini was out there getting involved.
He had the Book of Truth transcripted into Japanese.
Yes, and got a brand new cover specifically for before
the
Japan
show release of the book.
Of the Japanese release.
Yeah.
Get it in
this might have been my favorite outing that I could say that I've seen Michael Elgin in.
Yeah, you're not always the biggest Michael Elgin fan.
I'm not a huge Michael Elgin fan. For whatever reason, I think sometimes he looks goofy. To me, he has really good moments, but I feel like he wrestles very WWE-esque for a Ring of Honor guy. He's very predictable. Like
I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing always.
Yeah, and it's more typical of the bigger, strong guys than it is the high flying.
Because that is the thing in WWE.
So yeah, but to me, I think this is my favorite thing I've seen Michael Elgin do, at least, if not of all time, in a long time.
Yeah. Jay Lethal ends up retaining. Truth Martini actually leaves the Book of Truth in place for Lethal to grab it, distracts the referee, and while Michael Elgin picks up Jay Lethal for the Elgin Bomb, he ends up getting hit in the head with the Book of Truth.
Which is extra hard because it's the Japanese edition.
Sure. And then Jay Lethal hits the Lethal Injection to pick up the win and remain the ROH World Champion. Then we had, for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, we had Kenny Omega, who was the champion, defending against Kushida, and Kushida ends up beating Kenny Omega. This was a fun little thing.
But the entrances were the best part of this.
Kushida, him and Alex Shelley, the Time Splitters. Kushida dresses like Marty McFly from Back to the Future. So I believe it was Taguchi.
Yeah, Taguchi
came out dressed like Doc.
With a wig and everything.
The eyebrows, the wig, the coat, the whole deal.
The only thing that was odd was he had green tights on underneath.
So they do a whole Back to the Future style entrance. Well, then Kenny Omega's like, well, you know what? I can do that too, and he comes out as the Terminator.
Yeah.
Along with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And at one point, there were trash cans used in this match. Like, there was no disqualification in this match. They just whooped the shit out of each other.
It didn't seem like disqualifications worried anybody.
That's true.
This entire show.
That's true. It was
either there was something, like the referees were just like, fuck it. No one's getting disqualified at Wrestle Kingdom.
But at one point, there's 2 trash cans that have been used, and Kenny Omega is really in control of the match. You get the Young Bucks going
on the garbage cans. That was a good touch.
It's pretty awesome. But yeah, Kushida ends up picking up the win. This is I think this is his second or third time as champion. But he just ends up winning with a roll up. Kenny Omega got a little cocky towards the end, thinking that he had the advantage with the Bucks in his corner, but it turned out not so much, and Kushida is now the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Alright, where are we at now? Oh, okay. Keep in mind, out of 9 matches on the main card, only one of them is not for a title.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not this one, because this is the Bullet Club's Gallows and Anderson defending the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships against Toji Makabe and Tomoki Honma. These guys are pretty. I like these guys a lot.
Yeah.
Especially Honma. Like, he was. I don't think he was on last year's Wrestle Kingdom.
I think he was in last year's New Japan Rumble.
And we didn't get a chance to see that match. But yeah, I mean, with the fact that we found out prior to watching this that the Bullet Club, especially Anderson and Gallows, were heading to WWE. Potentially. This was kind of a test. Like, were they going to keep the titles? What was the thing going on here? And Honma, who is a fan of the headbutt in any way, shape, or form, he had that spring-loaded one.
Yeah, they did like a Doomsday Device headbutt.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Any type of headbutt he could do, he did, and that actually, he ended up doing a headbutt, a falling headbutt from the top rope onto Gallows, and then Makabe hit a double stomp, and they are the new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
I've got 2 highlights of this match.
Okay.
The first one is Gallows just yelling, "Fuck you, Makabe!"
Yeah, no,
really loud.
He had an issue with Makabe. He was, I think there was 2 or 3 times he he yelled "fuck you" in this match a lot, and that one specifically.
Yeah, that one got me. They were on the outside, I think. And then I'm pretty sure they were mentioning it, but this is Makabe's like first championship in New Japan.
Was it? Yeah.
Or am I thinking of the other?
It was Honma.
Honma.
Yeah, he used to wrestle in Big Japan.
Yeah.
And was champion there a few times, and then didn't come to New Japan until like 2007. I think.
Yeah. So he's started in 2005. Didn't sign a contract with New Japan until 2007.
So yeah, I mean he's been wrestling with New Japan for close to 11 years on and off, and this is the first time he's won a championship in the company.
Yeah.
So that's extremely impressive, and it shows that he does. He's not one of those guys who needs a championship. He doesn't feel like he
doesn't need to be validated.
Yeah, and that gives so much more respect, I think, to people like that. They're just like, I just want to wrestle. So
yeah.
Awesome. Good for him. New tag team champions. We move on to the one match that is not for a championship. This is more pride.
Yeah, this was like the storyline match.
Yes.
Where they had some emotional build going on.
We had Tetsuya Naito, who recently went to AAA and joined a group called, can't exactly remember what it was in Spanish, but it's translated to the Ungovernables.
Yeah.
And he brought, like, he runs the Japanese wing of this group along with Bushi and Evil, who was formerly Watanabe.
Yeah.
Interesting entrance here. We had Watanabe, aka Evil, with lasers coming out of his hands, and then all of a sudden he's got like dead eye, like he's just like zombie almost kind of look going on with just this black suit.
It was pretty sharp.
We had Bushi come out in a suit and a Day of the Dead luchador mask, which was pretty cool. And then Tetsuya Naito comes out and he ends up facing Hiroki Goto. This was a great match. All these matches were just so good. And Hiroki Goto ends up picking up the win. He uses the Elevator, which was a move.
Yeah. Matt Morgan.
Yeah, Matt Morgan used it in TNA. And, I mean, the fact that Tetsuya Naito had both these guys on the outside, and they got involved multiple times through this match. But, the times they weren't there was fantastic work between Goto and Naito. But yeah, Goto, despite the interference, was able to pick up the win and make an entertaining match that didn't need a championship involved.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe there's too many championships floating around in New Japan right now.
Well, let's move on to another one because this is the IWGP Intercontinental Championship
this one.
held by Shinsuke Nakamura, and he would take on the phenomenal AJ
Styles.
Boom. Do we even need to say that this match was fantastic?
I used to do like the hidden annotations and stuff. Remember that?
Yeah.
Can I have a not hidden annotation?
A not hidden?
Yeah. I'm just gonna announce that it's like going on right here in between us somewhere.
Alright.
There's just gonna be click on that and it'll take you to the match.
In
Japanese commentary.
If New Japan hasn't taken it down.
In Japanese commentary.
Yes. Unless we can find English commentary. But
that'd be neat.
You really don't need commentary because
do your own commentary.
Yeah.
Send it in to us. Let us watch.
Okay.
And let us tell you how crappy you did at commentary.
Why do you be like that?
One of us has to be.
These two are just both amazing athletes, and they kick the shit out of each other.
Absolutely.
AJ's been dealing with a back injury, and Nakamura
That came into play because early in the match, AJ feigned that his back hurt.
Yes.
And while Nakamura turned away to walk to the other corner,
yeah, to be respectful,
and ran across and attacked him from behind.
And then Nakamura's like, well, okay. And then he gave him a couple really good shots, knee strikes and all kinds of stuff to his back.
The first one that set it off is that he caught AJ going for an elbow or a clothesline or something and ripped him down into a backbreaker.
Yeah.
And AJ actually had to roll out of the ring to regroup afterwards.
Yeah, and AJ is still being part of the Bullet Club at this point, was very, very aggressive, and was just doing anything in his power to really, really just destroy Nakamura. And there was nothing he could do. Like, Nakamura came back from everything and ended up hitting just a vicious boot to the back of AJ's head, and then ended up hitting a knee strike, which ended up picking up the win, and Shinsuke Nakamura remains the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. And then we had the fist bump at the end, which I think is what ended up being AJ's undoing, because the night after, Kenny Omega and the Bucks would kick
New Year's Dash.
Yes, they would kick AJ Styles out of the Bullet Club. Then we have our main event, which is for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. We have the champion Kazuchika Okada, aka Rainmaker, taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. This was the main event.
The main event, Wrestle Kingdom 9.
Main event from last year. This is what, the 9th time they faced each other at Wrestle Kingdom?
Not at Wrestle Kingdom.
Or the 9th title match between something. They faced each other.
It's the 8th time they've wrestled each other, because they're at 3 wins, 3 apiece.
That's right.
And 1 draw.
That's right. Yeah. And
so this was like the big tiebreaker.
This was fantastic. Both these guys are, you talk about top tier Japanese talent. That is what they are.
I think we missed a match.
What?
What about the one with ciabatta bread?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
that was a never open weight champion.
That was before Styles and Nakamura. I don't know why I totally passed over that one. Okay, you want to talk about ciabatta bread and Tomohiro Ishii?
Yeah, Ishii.
Ishii. Yeah, this was for the. They beat the fuck out of each other.
I mean, if you could ever confuse professional wrestling for a legitimate combat sport,
yeah, that'd be this match.
We talked about that, like, last year's Wrestle Kingdom had a match similar to this.
Yes.
With the 2 older guys who did a very shoot fight style match, and they were very grappling oriented. These guys were very how
hard can I elbow you?
Forearm
chops.
Clothesline chop being like,
it hurt.
Yeah. Ow. I think Shibata won, right?
Yeah.
He was Shibata. He won with the penalty kick.
Yeah. And I don't blame Ishii for staying down after that move, because ow.
The great effect to this match is, like, afterwards, like, people were running into the ring and, like, putting ice packs on these guys.
Oh yeah. Well, otherwise they would have had just massive lumps all over their body from just beating the fuck out of each other for close to 20 minutes, something like that. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, so back to the main event. Last year, it was the talk of the town.
Awesome.
It was the fact that it was on pay-per-view for the first time in forever. It was talked about a lot last year, and they did not disappoint this year, because this felt like Rock Austin from WrestleMania 17, where they kicked out of everything.
I likened it to 19 because they were trying to beat each other with each other's finishers.
They were like, Tanahashi went for a few, hit the Rainmaker at least 2 or 3 times, and Okada kicked out. And then what is Tanahashi's? Hit the high fly flow.
Yeah.
And Okada hit a couple of those, and Tanahashi kicked out of those. It was so back and forth, and this guy just wanted a goddamn drop kick, and it wasn't happening.
It's like 95% of the way through the match before he hits his first legitimate drop. The Okada drop kick that's like...
Yeah, he hits... The
most
first one he
graceful fucking drop kick you'll see in professional wrestling.
He hits the first... Tanahashi ends up coming off the top rope, and Okada kicks him there.
Yeah, he hits a few counter drop kicks.
Yeah.
But they're not the Okada drop kick.
And then he finally hits one and hits just this final Rainmaker clothesline, and Okada remains the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And he had Gato out in his corner, and they had a long post-match promo where we thought something was going to happen, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was... New Japan is where it's at. It's so much fun to watch, and I'm ready for Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Well, you're going to have to wait a year.
I know.
I'm ready for the next New Japan Rumble.
You know what you're not going to have to wait a year for? Well, you might have to wait a couple days if you want to wait and watch on Comet. But I'm going to talk about
The
Ring
cleaner?
of...
The stuff and powder?
No, the
cleaner?
channel.
There's a channel called Comet?
Yeah.
There's fuck?
There's also one called Pop that TNA is on. It's probably a really flat pop, but you know. Get it? That's a bad joke. Sorry. No, we're gonna talk about Ring of Honor.
That's okay, because I was just racking my head the whole time you were talking to come up with some sort of pop related TNA joke. For some reason, I don't think there's anything I can do to compare TNA to pop. Like, I just feel like there's no way TNA could ever get a pop.
That's better. Damn it. Fuck you. If you don't want to be spoiled about this week's Ring of Honor TV, be sure to click to the time located at the bottom of your screen right now, because I'm going to talk about it, and you can't stop me. And here we go.
Unless you skip forward.
Yeah, that's the only way you can stop me. Here we go. We open up with the number one contenders for the tag team titles, the All Night Express taking on Roppongi Vice.
Roppongi Vice.
Fantastic tag team match.
And Trent was there.
All Night Express ends up picking up the win. Rocky was going for a drop kick on Rhett Titus. Kenny King ended up shoving Rhett Titus out of the way and took the drop kick. So
that's loyalty.
So Rocky tagged in Trent and dove onto Kenny King, trying to take him out. Then Trent sets him up. The crunchy. The crunchy with a double stomp by Rocky Romero. They call the Absolute Zero. They end up hitting that on Rhett Titus.
Or the extra crunchy.
Extra. But the ref won't count. And Trent's like, why aren't you counting? Kenny King gets in, rolls up Trent, because when he shoved Rhett Titus out of the way, it counted as a blind tag. So Kenny King ends up picking up the win.
Oh, sneaky.
So, yeah, clever as hell. The crowd does not like the All Night Express. Maybe it's just the Philly crowd, because this is still the TV tapings after Final Battle. But they don't like the All Night Express at all.
It could be.
They hate them. And Kenny King doesn't understand why. Moving on, we had the Kingdom come out. They're all a little beat up from Final Battle.
You think?
Adam Cole's got his whole right arm wrapped up. Mike Bennett's limping around. Matt Taven's on crutches. It's just they are beaten and broken. Maria still looks beautiful. That will never change. But Adam Cole comes out and talks, and they actually have security out there. And Adam Cole says that he's got the security out there to make sure that coward Kyle O'Reilly can't attack me from behind. He goes on to talk about how at Final Battle, some people did what they said they were going to, and others didn't. Mostly him beating Kyle O'Reilly and the other two losing the tag team titles to War Machine. And he starts to tell them, there's no way we can all be champion if you guys lose your championships. So here's how you're going to get them back. Before he's able to tell that, though, Kyle O'Reilly comes running down to ringside and the security's stopping him. Bobby Fish is like, you know what, Cole? I just want to let you know that this pitbull wants to get in there and tear your head off. But, you know, I was thinking, I was listening to you talk about, you know, you guys being tag team champions and everything. But we kind of redefined the tag team division in Ring of Honor. And if anyone's going to be getting a shot at the tag team titles coming up soon, it should be us. So Bobby Fish tells Nigel McGuinness, hey, make the match next week. We'll beat the Kingdom. And then we'll move on to face whoever wins out of the All Night Express and War Machine. So Nigel makes it official. But,
as Nigel does.
But
then
the Bullet Club theme song plays, and the Young Bucks make their way down, and Matt goes, you know,
suck it!
No, he didn't say that yet. He goes, you know, when it comes to tag team wrestling,
good shot at what he said, so.
when it comes to tag team wrestling, I'm pretty sure you guys are probably talking about us, the Young Bucks being the hottest tag team in wrestling right now. So if anyone, Matt's exact words are, if anyone are going to beat these Bullet Club marks, talking about the Kingdom, it's going to be us. So Nigel make the match. So Nigel says, well, I'm going to give the fans what they want, and next week's Ring of Honor main event will be the Kingdom with Mike Bennett and Adam Cole, because Matt Taven can't wrestle, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks in a triple threat Philly street fight. And I can only imagine that whomever wins out of this will probably be next in line for a tag team title shot.
And that match is just going to be too sweet.
I like the way you did that. All right. Then we had, speaking of the ROH Tag Team Champions, we had War Machine taking on the House of Truth, Jay Diesel and Donovan Dijak.
I feel really bad for Jay Diesel in this match because he just has to feel like the short little monkey out of this group because Dijak is significantly taller than him, and Rowe and Hanson are both significantly taller than him.
Rowe is the only one that's close to the same size as Jay Diesel.
Yeah.
Yes, Diesel is a tiny man compared to the other behemoths that are in this match. But the House of Truth is actually working him over toward, at the beginning. Donovan Dijak did the Kalisto thing. What is it? He springboards and then he
corkscrew attack?
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. He did it to the outside, and he's too goddamn big to be doing that. And I almost spit soda everywhere when I watched it. It was fantastic. But that was about the extent of their offense, because then War Machine just got pissed off. Jay Diesel actually ended up blind tagging and coming in to try. Yeah, he tried to take advantage and started, he's tried to work him over. It didn't work out very well. Then Dijak ends up tagging himself back in, but ends up getting hit with Fallout, and War Machine picks up the win.
No matter who you are, if you're tagging in, you're making a mistake.
It's War Machine. Truth Martini was none too happy about this and said, you know what? When people think about the House of Truth, they think Truth Martini. They think the beautiful Taylor Hendricks. They think Jay Diesel. They think the ROH World Champion Jay Lethal. They don't think Donovan Dijak. Donovan Dijak, you are the weak link of this team.
Ooh.
And
which is funny because when I think of House of Truth, I definitely don't think of Jay Diesel.
Right?
That's what I generally think. He's like the last guy I think about.
Yeah, he's the extra guy.
Yeah,
he's just kind of there.
I always think of Donovan Dijak second.
So Truth Martini says that when you lose, I lose, and I don't like losing. That's like a slap in the face. This is how you slap a man in the face. And then he slaps Donovan Dijak. Donovan Dijak doesn't like that very much, so he grabs Truth Martini by the coat, but then Jay Diesel starts beating the crap out of Donovan Dijak while Truth Martini is yelling at him. Donovan Dijak is able to overpower Jay Diesel, hit Feast Your Eyes, and as Truth Martini runs away and is yelling, Donovan Dijak, you are fired, Prince Nana's on the outside, who gave Donovan Dijak one of those envelopes a couple weeks ago, and he's like, you know what? I kind of like this. So Donovan Dijak is no longer with the House of Truth, which is probably really bad for the House of Truth.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good for them.
I'm looking forward to this hope potentially being Dijak versus Jay Lethal.
I'd watch. Dijak just impresses me more and more every week. It's unbelievable what this guy can do.
He won the Top Prospect Tournament.
No shit. Then we move on to our main event, which is a 4-corner survival match. We have Dalton Castle, Matt Sydal, Moose, and Jay Briscoe.
So you got strong, flippy, tough, and flamboyant.
Yes. Just a couple of highlights throughout this match. The dueling man up and fan up chants were great. The ping pong punches to Matt Sydal between Moose and Jay Briscoe. the boys. Okay, so Seidel ends up doing this big dive onto everyone on the outside, and the boys are fanning Dalton Castle. Well, Stokely went over and broke parts of the fans off and started fanning Moose. Absolutely hysterical. But but towards the end, we have, let's see. So Jay Briscoe ends up getting taken out by a spear from Moose. And then Dalton Castle hits a missile dropkick on Moose, which takes him out. Matt Seidel and then Dalton Castle are left in the ring together. Seidel blocks Bangarang, ends up hitting a reverse Rana, goes up for the shooting star press. As he goes for the shooting star press, Dalton Castle is able to roll out of the way. Seidel lands on his feet, but gets set up and hit with Bangarang again for Dalton Castle to pick up the win. Dalton Castle is back on track because he's got himself the boys.
Was there any stipulation on that? Is that like a number one contender?
Not really.
Match? Nothing?
Not really.
Come on, guys.
It could maybe be a TV title thing. I don't know.
Potentially. I mean,
I don't know.
just the stacked number of talent
Yeah.
in that match is got to be potential to throw in the winner's name in the hat for any kind of championship.
You'd think. But that is it for ROH. I'm looking forward to that triple threat main event next week. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, we got a couple quick news stories we want to talk about. You want to go first?
Sure.
Right.
WWE posted the article with Nakamura and the Bullet Club on it recently.
Yep.
Turns out, according to specific sources located in or around the New Japan Wrestling area, is that WWE is still looking to acquire more talent from New Japan Wrestling, including other remaining members of the Bullet Club, Tama Tonga and Bad Luck Fale, and as well as they wanted to sign Rocky Romero from Roppongi Vice to a contract to become a full-time trainer at the Performance Center.
Oh.
Now, Rocky Romero has done stints doing workshops at the Performance Center.
Right.
But Rocky Romero decided that he still feels that he's got good years left in him in the ring, so he signed another 2-year deal with New Japan, which allows him to also fly over to the States and do indie shows and Ring of Honor.
All right. Good for Rocky. Also, there is the Michael Elgin.
Oh, yeah, WWE's got Michael Elgin on their radar. Because
They've had Michael Elgin on their radar for a while now.
He's free agenty right now.
Yeah, he's not actually contracted to Ring of Honor. So, well, I'll just keep this going because apparently as of May 1st, there was a good chance that we'll see the Wolves, Eddie Edwards, and Davey Richards in WWE as well because Davey Richards posted on his Twitter that after May 1st, him and Eddie Edwards will not be able to take indie bookings. And so unless TNA are doing different things with their contracts.
Making them exclusive?
Yeah, making them exclusive. That could potentially be the Wolves going to NXT.
They tried.
Yeah.
They've tried before.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean they
got knocked out by the Ascension.
They had two different stints last year where they were possibly going to NXT, but they were pretty big in TNA last year. They had a good year in TNA. So we'll have to wait till.
Can one have a good year in TNA?
If you're talented enough.
All right.
So we'll have to wait till May to find out whether or not we get the Wolves in WWE or if they'll be sticking with TNA. That's it for news.
That's exciting.
I know you got some upcoming shows.
You? Yeah.
I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Top Prospect. Just to finish out the list of names.
Sounds good.
That's all I got.
I like that tournament, the Top Prospect Tournament.
Indeed.
Before the Top Prospect Tournament is said and done,
yeah,
I got 2 shows coming up this weekend, including the 15th. That's Friday. That's AAW's Chaos Theory. And that's going to be from Bourbon Street in Marionette Park, Illinois. We got a couple matches announced. We've got Lewis Linden taking on Drew Gulak. We've got Abyss versus Ryan Boz. We've got Chris Hero versus Sami Callihan. The Hooligans defend the Tag Team Championships against Team Zero Gravity. Davey Vega defends the Heritage Championship against AR Fox. And in the main event, we're going to have Eddie Kingston defending the championship against Trevor Lee.
Wow.
We also have Heidi Lovelace is going to be there, Allison Kay, a lot of other people. Congo Kong, I think, was on the list.
He's been popping up a lot lately.
Yeah.
You don't like him, I know. I got it.
First impressions are hard to break.
I understand.
And then on Saturday the 16th, moving up north to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, to have Smash Wrestling versus CZW interpromotional show. A lot of interpromotional matches. Well, they're all interpromotional matches. That's why it's an interpromotional show. All right. We're gonna have Smash Wrestling's the Overdogs versus CZW's Dub Boys, formerly Dub Security. We're gonna have Tyson Ducks representing Smash Wrestling. The first time he's been in Ontario for like 10 years or something like that. Something ridiculous. He's gonna take on CZW's Jonathan Gresham.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna have Courtney Rush representing Smash Wrestling versus Kimber Lee representing CZW. We're going to have Scotty O'Shea representing Smash Wrestling taking on DJ Hyde representing CZW. We're going to have Smash Wrestling's Tarek versus CZW's Drew Gulak. Wow. We're going to have a 6-man tag, Smash Wrestling being represented by Brett Banks and the Super Smash Brothers, and they're going to take on Mike Rollins, Black G's, and Pepper Parks, combining 2 different teams together because Mike Rollins and Pepper Parks in Smash Wrestling are the well-oiled machines, and Pepper Parks and Black G's in CCW are TV ready, so there will be the TV ready machines come this Saturday, and they're also going to have the Smash Wrestling Championship on the line. The Smash Wrestling Champion Johnny Gargano will be defending against CZW's Sami Callihan.
All right. That's a hell of a show we got there.
It's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
Should be interesting. Well, before we get out of here, I'm going to let you know that we have the last few names added to the Top Prospect Tournament. The names we've already gone over were Action Ortiz, Leo Rush, Punisher Martinez, Colby Carino, and Brian Fury. The last couple names we have Shaheem Ali, who's been on and off with ROH for about the last year or so. Jason Kincaid, who is does a lot of NWA promotions and did a one-off thing with TNA. But then the last spot, this is the first year that 11 people are technically in the Top Prospect Tournament. Because for the 8th spot, there will be a 4-corner survival match. This will feature Leon St. Giovanni, who's been in on and off with Ring of Honor for a few months. Ken Phoenix, who actually showed up a few weeks ago and teamed with Donovan Dijak for a possible spot in the House of Truth. David Starr, formerly from the Juicy Product, who we've talked about many times on this show. And question mark. I already know the result to this match. I can't find the dude's name anywhere. Or girl. I don't know who it is. It's just question mark no matter where I go. So one of those 4 gentlemen question mark people will be joining the other 7 guys, and will be kicking off the tournament, I believe, this coming weekend when the Winter Warriors Tour takes off. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
And click the tons of links that are down there in this video.
There's a lot of links because, we have our links. The ones we talk about, the emails, and Reddit, and Twitter, and Tumblr, and emails, and again, because there's more than one of those, and Twitter, because there's 3 of those, and Instagram, and I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And the podcast. We talk about all of these links every week because they're ours on every single episode.
But you can find them in the description of every video we've ever done.
But on the indie news, you get special links.
Yes.
Like ChikaraPro.com.
ROHWrestling.com.
CZWrestling.com.
LookMonoFans.com.
And many more, because we want to link you to the people we just done talked about.
Yes. And
comment.
Yes. Comment, please.
Promotions you want us to talk about. If you want us to talk about somebody who's in your hometown, or somebody nearby, or a promotion that you like. If you want us to talk about Paragon Pro Wrestling, if you want us to talk about St. Louis Anarchy, if you want us to talk about IWA Mid-South, start linking us, start talking to us in the comments and telling us who you want to hear about.
Also, post in the comments what you thought about Wrestle Kingdom if you got a chance to watch it. Let us know what you think about the Top Prospect Tournament. Is there anyone that you wish was in it? I know you...
Trip Cassidy.
You wanted Trip Cassidy, but he's not in it. As far as I know, maybe he's question mark man. I don't know. But yeah, post down in the comments. Let's talk wrestling. And also, the last thing you always got to do is check out that playlist. Because we got other videos.
Yeah, Raw Review. Midweek Wrap Up.
Man-Week Wrap Up.
SmackDown Rundown.
And this video break. Yeah. Indie news.
Yeah.
And coming up next week, we will have episode 83.
Holy crap.
We're moving closer to the Royal Rumble.
Hopefully Thomas will be here. We're finally going to get an episode of NXT. Thank God. Hopefully.
No more of these best of bullshit. Yeah, lots of stuff coming up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
You know what? I thought of a video we should do.
What?
It's a very special video. I've got the name of it. Fuck Sheamus.
Oh, I'm all over that idea. Pencil.